There's a moment that shows up in a lot of businesses. The team is busy, things are moving, tasks are getting checked off, there are updates, emails, activity from the outside, and even possibly from the inside. It looks like progress. But then something happens. A deadline gets pushed, a client follows up asking for clarity, or you step back and realize, you're not actually closer to the outcome. The work moved forward, but nothing actually progressed. Nothing made it across the finish line. Not because people aren't working, not because there isn't a process, but because the process itself isn't actually carrying the work where it needs to go. And this is where a different type of breakdown starts to show up. Welcome to Trust Leaks. I'm Sandra Martini, and this podcast is about the invisible breakdowns inside your business that quietly erode trust, both for your clients and inside your team. In the first set of episodes, we talked about alignment, expectations, ownership, communication. Even when all of that is working, there's another layer where trust breaks: execution itself. And today we're starting with one of the most common places that happens: process leaks. You see, a process leak isn't the absence of a process. It's when the process exists, the team is following it, yet it's not actually producing the intended outcome, both for you and for the client. This is what makes it so hard to see, because on the surface, everything looks like it's working. You see, one of the biggest traps in growing businesses is confusing motion with movement, confusing progress with activity. They're not the same. Tasks get completed, steps get followed, updates get sent, yet none of that guarantees that the work is moving towards the absolute right result. Reality is that most processes don't start broken, they drift over time. They were created at a different stage of your business with different team members, designed around different constraints. Over time, however, people adapt. Steps get added, workarounds become normal, and slowly, the process that's actually being completed today doesn't match the one that's documented. So the process stops matching today's reality. And that often results in no one owning the outcome. This is where process leaks overlap with ownership leaks. Often, people will own their step, their piece, their task. However, no one owns the whole overall result. So the process keeps moving even if it's not working. I want to share a real world example with you. Think about a client onboarding process. The intake form completed, the welcome email sent, files shared, everything's done. Process worked. Yay! Yet, the client is still confused. They're still asking questions and they're still unclear. Because while the process happened, we celebrated, truth is the outcome didn't. There's a break somewhere in that process. And when you're looking inside a business, it kind of looks like this. You might be experiencing a process leak if things feel busy but not effective. Work gets done, redone, or clarified late. Clients ask questions that really they should know the answer to. They should have already been answered. Deadlines move even when tasks were completed, and team members say the dreaded, I followed the process, but the process didn't work. So let's look at a quick reframe. Instead of asking, did we follow the process? Start asking, did the process actually produce the intended result? There's no blame here. We're not accusing anyone of not doing what they did. We're stepping back and we're saying, let's look at this process again. Everybody did their piece, and yet the outcome was off. We did not get what we wanted. Why? Where in the process did something break? Or where multiple places in the process did something break? So if you do nothing else this week, go ahead and pick one process to review and ask yourself these three questions, or ask your team these three questions. One, what is the actual outcome this process is supposed to create? Two, where did it break? Where did the process break, or where did it drift? It doesn't need to be a full-on break. And three, where are we mistaking activity for progress? This short exercise alone is going to expose much more than you expect. Because when a process leaks, clients feel uncertainty, teams lose confidence, timelines slip. And even if no one made a mistake, trust starts to erode. So, process leaks are subtle. They don't look like failure, they look like progress. Until one day you're doing a lot of the work and realize, not getting the results that I expected. But I'm doing everything and I'm doing it right. So why aren't I'm doing it right compared to the process. So why aren't I getting the results I'm expecting? And once you see this, once you see that the work moved forward while nothing actually progressed and you start digging into it a little bit, you're not able to unsee this. So if you're wondering where you might have trust leaks, go ahead and take the Trust Leaks Diagnostic. It's free. You can take it at trustleaks, leaks.com, and see what else might exist in your business. And if you enjoyed today's episode, please subscribe, like, and follow. Thanks so much.